Hi, friends. Welcome to the Twisted Sisters Present Boutique Haul, hosted by The Secret Craft Room, Tracy Vanover Designs, Shabby Meets Bling, and Up All Night DIY. Links to all the hosts and the playlist will be in the description box. For this DIY, I found a template for a small cat online. The eyes are shut, but I want the eyes on my cat to be open, so I've got yellow buttons and then some different color multi-buttons from Dollar Tree to use as eyes. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but the fabric I want to use for my cat is the Dollar Tree faux leather. It comes in a roll of 11.75 inches by 20 inches. I've already used this for another project, so this is this is all I have left. I have to find some more of this black. But there's more than enough for me to do this little cat. So we don't do spooky in this house, so I want to make it cute, but still in the Halloween theme. So we'll have a cute little black cat. So first I need to go ahead and get my cat traced out. And I'll do this inside out on this one. And I'll have to cut 2 of these. I will add the link for this template in the description box if you want to make one of these. Really, you could use whatever fabric you want. Actually, when I found it, it was the original, was actually a felt cat. But, you know, just to make it my own, I thought, you know what, that would be really awesome as a faux leather cat. So that's what we're gonna do. I got my front and back cut out. And before I can sew them together, I need to add the features, and I'll use my template. I filled in the areas for the face, and so I'm just going to decide if I'm going to use these yellow buttons or add some of these other buttons first. Okay, so I didn't find any of these bigger ones that matched or would look nice, but I have these two. And I thought these would be really pretty to layer on top of the yellow. If I can get that to focus. I think that will be so cute as eyes. So that's what we'll do. I cut slits in my parchment paper so I could line up where the eyes should go, and I'm just going to add a little dot with a paint pen onto the faux leather so I can get it marked off and then have my buttons sewed down in the right spots. So to have longevity for this piece, I'm going to sew down my yellow buttons, and then I will glue the smaller buttons on top because the buttonholes don't line up, so I won't be able to stitch through the smaller buttons. And I think the fix-all shouldn't have any issue with the 2 plastic buttons being adhered together with that glue. So for this, the mouth and nose area, I'm going to stitch right through my parchment paper. This is just Dollar Tree parchment paper, nothing fancy. I'll just clip it on with the binder clip. And just go right through. Actually, maybe I should make it a little bit lower. I'll make it a little bit lower because of how the eyes are. So once I finish adding the whiskers, I'm going to remove my parchment paper and it'll be the moment of truth to see how all of my stitching turned out. If you really can make out the face and it really does look like the image that I traced out. And so now I was kind of nervous pulling this parchment paper off. I didn't want to pull too roughly and pull any of my stitching up. So I just try to just be as careful as possible and just go a little bit at a time pulling the pieces. And this is just Dollar Tree parchment paper, but I didn't want any of my stitching to come up. And then I was pleasantly surprised to see that you could make out the face of the cat and it looks adorable. For the ears, I have a couple of scraps of pink fabric, so I'll just trace the ear portion out and then sew that in. So in the original pattern, there were little extra pieces for the mouth area and the inner ear. So I've already got that traced out. So I'm just gonna cut that and then trace it onto my pink paper. Once I got my first inner ear piece added, I moved on to the second one, and I'm using a pink thread to add the inner ear pieces so it'll look more invisible against the pink background. Okay, so now that my initial stitching on the face area is done, I'm going to start sewing around in the tail, and I'll start adding, this will be the first area that I will start to add my polyfill. So now I'm at a stopping point for my stitching, and I'm going to start to add my polyfill into the tail. It'll be easier to do it at this point than once I get everything sewn and I just have a small opening at the bottom. I want to make sure that I really get as much polyfill as I can pushed all the way through in the tail area. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some of the polyfill into the ears before I continue sewing down the left side of the kitten. And I just want to make sure that, just like with the tail, that I really get all of that polyfill up into the crevices of each of those ears. I'm nearing the finish line of all my stitching, so I'm just going to finish my last few stitches and tie off my thread so I can move on to adding a ribbon around my kitty's neck. So now that all the stitching is complete, I found this orange and white gingham in my stash, and I thought the orange and white will look really nice against the black leather. So I'm just going to make a simple shoestring bow around her neck. I'm out of Gorilla Glue, but I do have this fix-all from Dollar Tree. So I'll just add the fix-all to my yellow, and I'll give this, it's supposed to be tacky in about like a minute or two. So I'll give it a minute or two and then I'll add those on top. And here is my not so spooky little black cat. I think she is so adorable, and I'm going to name her Midnight. And let me know, what do you think of her? She did take quite a bit of time to create, but I think she turned out so cute. For this DIY, I'm using a jack-o'-lantern ornament pack from a pack of 8 from Dollar Tree, one of their wood planks from a pack of 6. I'm trying out this Dollar Tree acrylic paint and this candy corn fabric from Dollar Tree, and have this Mod Podge. So I've had this paint for a while, and I don't remember if I tried to use it before, but I want to paint my background with this paint, this Dollar Tree paint, so I can have like a white background, and then I want to Mod Podge my candy corn fabric onto my jack-o'-lantern, and I want to try the burn method to get all the detail of the jack-o'-lantern's face out, and I thought that the white background would make the candy corn really pop on the jack-o'-lantern. So I don't remember if it's just been a long time and I just didn't remember how the quality of this paint was, but it's extremely thin and I really don't recommend it. I ended up wiping this off and using apple barrel paint. So I'm cutting the excess fabric around my jack-o'-lantern because I'm going to use the burn method, and I don't want to have a huge flame or have a bunch of fabric on fire. So once I get that done, I poke holes in the eyes, nose, and mouth area, and then it took a bit of doing, but eventually I did get the areas burned, and I kind of had to nip away at it a bit with my scissor as well. So once all the burning was complete, I just added hot glue to the back and added it to my wood plank. And then I hot glued a Dollar Tree cube on the back so this would stand up on my tier tray. So initially I wanted this to just be a cute little candy corn pattern jack-o'-lantern, but with all that burning, it does kind of look a little bit creepy. Let me know, what do you think of this piece? For this DIY, this is super simple. I'm using seven Cumberland Tower blocks. I've already glued these together with wood glue so I can have a cute little display for Halloween on my tier tray. I've got rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree with various little images and words for Halloween, and my apple barrel paint that I'll use just to paint, give a neutral background, a white background for my rub-on transfer. So I'll just give this just a quick coat, and then when this dries, I'll pick out some of the images to rub on to my blocks. Okay, so I think trick or treat and maybe some of these spiders and ravens would work. And just that easy and quick, a cute little piece of decor to pop into my tier tray. I really love all the different types of rub-on transfers that Dollar Tree has and the endless possibilities of where you can add them. And here are all of my items from today's video added into a small tier tray with some other pieces I already had. I think this looks super adorable. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I really have enjoyed creating these Halloween items for you. Don't forget, there is a playlist. I'll have a link in the description box to all of the hosts and the playlist. I hope you have a whatever you like, spooky or unspooky Halloween season.